Hi, Jim Hayes here. I'm a property manager with Hayes Realty Incorporated, and I think it's very important that people who are investors, people who are landlords, people who have investment properties understand the right thing to do with their insurance, with water damage insurance, okay? That's why we're talking about landlord insurance, and I'm talking about specifically water damage coverage. Don't wait till it's too late. Call your insurance agent today, okay? After you watch this video, hey, give them a call. It could save you a ton of money. I just want to make sure you're covered in all the right spots. And I've noticed, I've been a property manager for many, many moons, since 1995. So a long time ago is when I started. I've been doing this for a long time. I like to make sure that my landlords are aware of exactly what type of insurance they need, so that when perils do happen, and they do happen from time to time, that hey, they're covered. And we can get the deductible to a certain level that everybody can live with, and it's not a big issue. Hey, you can sleep at night. It's really good, right? So let's kind of talk about this. So be sure and ask your insurance agent, number one, do you have a DP3 policy? I'm sure you do. If you're in the state of Texas, if you're in a different state, you've talked to them about different policies. But in the state of Texas, we have the DP3 policy, dwelling fire policy. And normally what's covered is what they call accidental and sudden discharge, okay? So let's say you have a tenant in the house and their hose to their washing machine bursts, floods the house. Hey, you're probably covered. That's one that's pretty covered automatically by any DP3 policy, excuse me. But some things that you may or may not be covered on that you need to ask your insurance agent are, do I have water backup insurance? Okay, I know on mine I have to pay a little extra for this, and it's very, very minor amount of money, guys. We're talking about all of these insurance policies, all these little addendums or riders or whatever you will, all of them together may be $100 a year. Okay, so it's very reasonable, but it makes me sleep better at night knowing I've got it on my personal residences, or not my personal residencies, but on my personal investment properties. And also I recommend my landlords do the same thing. All right. So water backup, what is water backup? Well, water backup could be several things. It could be in the washing machine drain line, right? In which got clogged, and therefore the washing machine's backing up and doing that. That's one. Could be the toilet, any toilet that you have, that to say the float valve, the flapper valve gets stuck or isn't quite shutting all the way, so it has running water. Not everybody hears this stuff. All they know is the water bill may be a little high. Well, that's all well and good until the toilet gets clogged up. But if that toilet gets clogged up, well, then that's going to start filling up that bowl, and then it's going to just spill over the top. And you're never even going to notice it till you walk in the living room or in the place and squish, 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 squish. You're like, oh my goodness, where'd this come from? It's like it happened automatically. Well, it probably happened over a several hour period, and you just didn't know it. That would be backup coverage, okay? Now, I'm also going to recommend that you talk to your agent and get at least $10,000 worth of coverage. The reason I say that is because it's not so expensive to fix the problem. It's expensive to dry out the problem, okay? And fix the problem. Because if you only have $5,000 in coverage, well, I'm telling you, a company I use is a restoration company. You call the restoration company in, whichever one you like to use, and they'll come over and put in blowers and dehumidifiers and they'll sit 4 or 5 days to dry everything out. Well, that could be $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000, depending on the size of your house, on what all this is doing. It can be very expensive, and then coming in and fix the other problems. So $10,000, in my opinion, is the least coverage you should have for water backup. So be sure to do that. Also talk to your agent, your insurance agent, about, hey, what if that goes to $25,000? What's the difference in price? You're going to find there's not much difference in price between a higher not a deductible, but a higher amount of coverage and a lower amount of coverage. It's better, the more coverage you have in there with the lower deductibles, the better you're going to sleep. I'll just be honest with you, okay? So it makes it so you don't worry about it. The next coverage I want to talk to you about is called seepage coverage. Now, this is one that hopefully you never have to worry about, but as a property manager, I've run across it a few times. Let's say you have a house that been there a while, and let's say the dishwasher goes out. Well, okay, we bring in a guy to replace the dishwasher. That's all well and good. And they pull the dishwasher out, and there'd been a little pinhole leak in the supply line for who knows how long, 5 years, 10, We don't know because we never saw any water damage. We weren't looking for water damage. It's a very small little leak. But when you pull it back, you see all kind of mold back there, and it's just yucky. And when they pull it all out, well, the walls are wet and everything's wet. Hey, you ruin some flooring. I mean, it can be very expensive. So make sure you got good coverage on that one as well, and keep the deductibles so they're reasonable for you, okay? The last one I want you to talk to him about, to your insurance, not him, excuse me, to your insurance agent about, could be he or she, is foundation coverage. So let's say that your house starts doing a little moving, you see some cracks in the sheetrock, maybe your doors aren't quite closing, you bring out a foundation company and they say, hey, you know, this is lower over here, or this is higher over here, and they're not really sure why until they go in to fix it, and they say, hey, you know, you got a water leak under this slab, so they can see that. Well, then if you have foundation coverage, your insurance company will cover that, okay? And again, these are not very expensive riders to put on your insurance policies, but they will definitely make it so it's a whole lot better for you in your pocketbook, that you don't have to spend all the money in the world to get these things fixed. Now, on the deductibles, whatever's good for you, whatever makes you sleep well at night, is what you need. But be careful about this, guys, because I know a lot of people, they think, well, I'll just up my deductibles. It makes it cheaper for me for insurance. Well, that may be well and good, but when the perils do hit, and they do hit, that you don't sleep well then, okay? You get really mad, and it's just not a good thing. I recommend you pay a little extra for insurance so you can have a better night's sleep and you never have to worry about it. Give you examples. Let's say hail, especially in Texas. We're in North Texas. Hey, we get hail and wind all the time around here. So we know that probably every 5 to 7 years, we're gonna get a new roof because hail's gonna happen, right? So I put, you know, the minimum allowed here is 1%. So that's what I put. I put 1% deductible on my wind and my hail, but then I drop everything else in the house down to $1,000 or less, for example. So let's say now you have that backup water thing we're talking about. Hey, it could be $25,000 worth of damage. All you have to pay is $1,000. Insurance pays the rest. You sleep better at night. I'm just telling you, it's really good. And if you want to check to see if it's even lower, maybe a $500 deductible, talk to your insurance agent, find out what the difference in price is. If it's something you can live with, get that deductible down so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, highly recommend that. So if you have any other questions about investment properties and real estate in general, okay, I'd be more than happy to talk to you. Hey, just call or text me at my phone number, 214-207-9682. I look forward to hearing from you. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.